Time to play with some clay. Well, hello. This is a review of this particular instructional video that I posted here. I hope you'll enjoy it. It's a short review of the video, what's on the video that's located at Vimeo. At the end of this video, I will show you how to purchase a video
wire, and I'm going to combine the aluminum wire with baling wire as far as for the armature. Anyway, just establishing how long I want to make this. Now here I am just making the armature, and this is 2 years ago, mind you. And I'm using some, it looks like aluminum wire, but it doesn't, it's not as soft as aluminum wire, so I think it's probably steel wire that I'm working with. And here I'm mounting it onto a board, anchoring it in with some screws. And then I start adding clay to it. I didn't actually put any kind of support behind the figure because it quite honestly was strong enough to hold itself up because the wire was kind of stiff. I'm going to do the Viking, and I'm going to take this sketch that I did several years ago. This one had a war bonnet and all that stuff. It was called Touch the Clouds. It was a particular Lakota Indian who was a cousin of Crazy Horse that I was commissioned to do by a gallery down in Jackson Hole in Park City. But I'm going to take this figure that I did. It's just a sketch that I wanted to work out the design before I went to the 36-inch or 24-inch tall figure. And I'm going to change this thing and rework the figure and make a Viking out of it. Just a sketch for the one that I'll do later on. Originally this was going to be just a sketch, but it worked out so well that I turned it into a complete sculpture. And here I'm just starting the first face and head that I did on the figure. I later on changed it completely, took off that head and did it again, and I think it came out better the second time. Not being a Native American piece, it has to have a different structure to the face. Size of the blade, historically to a historical blade or a sword that was found in Norway, I believe. And the blade was historically, let's turn this off, was 29 inches long from well, it was 29 inches long, and the handle was 4 or 3.5 inches long. So I've done that to scale, and the handle would fit perfectly in his hand. Working out or researching swords and working out the scale. I don't want to make the sword humongous. I want to make it to scale. I want it to look on the body again and get it as far along as I can so I can start putting clothing on it. And if I decide to put the robe on it, I can put the robe on it. I know it's hard to see because of the black background behind the black light, but it's a swing arm lamp, and I've got it over the clay, and I'm going to darken up the picture a little bit so that you can see the clay. And I have my clay underneath this lamp. And his hand's right there inside the circle. And use it like a plane on wood. Here I put clay on top of the papers that I had as the armature or the pattern for the shield. You have to have something under the clay. The clay is just not strong enough to hold itself up. And so I did that, and now I'm redoing the head of the Viking. I'm well into the face. I show much more on the creation of that face and starting it out and all that stuff. Now here I have put the head back on the body, and now I'm adding hair and seeing how it looks all together with the shield. As I got some videos off of YouTube showing people in a Viking garb over in Norway at a village, reconstructed village, Viking village, where they wore traditional clothing and stuff like that. And I picked up on this, the leggings, and I wanted to kind of emulate that onto this clay. Also got some information on the footwear they would have worn. That's actually an ancient shoe right there, and this is a reproduction similar to it. I'm going to make the pants roomy, so I'm going to add a lot of material on here. Idea to change the angle of this battle axe, and I thought of bringing it down and just letting it sit on the edge of the base. The reason I thought of doing that is because it actually looks pretty damn good from every angle. Shadows, all that stuff. Can't see that working on a flat surface. On creating a Viking, I hope I've given you some points and pointers on how to do things and make it look like something that it ain't. That's all sculpting is just making things look like what they weren't. It's a magician trick, just like anything else. It comes with practice, 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 and you just can't say enough about that. You don't do it overnight. It'll take you years to develop your abilities, and some of you will have such natural abilities that it will actually be faster the time that you can do something. Well, here's the segment where I tell you how to purchase your streaming video off of Vimeo. This is just a temporary page right now because I haven't created the 9 reviews of my current instructional videos yet, and that's so this is just a temporary page just to show you an example of what you're going to see when you come to this page. There's a link below my daily YouTube videos
that will take you to this page, and here you will see all 9 videos, but I don't have them on here right now because I haven't edited them yet or created them yet. But there'll be 9 videos on this page, right in this area here, and you'll be able to scroll down the page and review them all. Up here to the right is a drop-down menu, and will be listed all my videos. I just clicked a little arrow, down arrow up here, and it will be listed all my instructional videos here. And you click on the one you want to purchase. Let's see if I can do this. Say I want to purchase that one, add to cart. And it's all through PayPal. And I've got 2 videos that I've got listed here already on my PayPal pre-order. And up here in the upper right, there's a continue shopping, and I can drop down the menu and click on another video, add to cart, and automatically you got the third choice. I've already made 2 choices, and now I got a 3rd choice. And then once you get that done, you click on the PayPal button to continue to the checkout. That's how you purchase my videos. As soon as I receive notification from PayPal that you've purchased a video, I put together a email to you with the link, or with the title of the video, as well as the link to the Vimeo video copy of it, and the password. Now, I also inform you up here, keep this email I send you or print it out so you'll always have the link and the password for the video you purchased. You can watch it on Vimeo as often as you want, as long as you have this. Thank you so much for your purchase. Of course, if you lose the email, you can always contact me and I can replace it. But the receipt for your purchase is here, and the link to the video, like I just told you, is right there. And it's very easy. You just click on that link, and then it'll ask you for the password before you can start watching the video. And it's just so simple. And as soon as I get I see that you purchased something, I get the video out to you, and you have it within seconds. It is so much easier than the old way that I did it by DVD, which I can't do anymore. All right, that's how you purchase and how you receive your instructional videos or video. Well, that's it, and I hope this has been helpful to you in making your decision. But wait, I have a great deal for you, and it's listed in the list of videos that you can order. The deal is, if you order all 9, you get 3 unlisted videos that are great videos. I just don't have room on PayPal to list them, so I have to keep them in reserve. But if you order all 9 of my videos at one time, you get 3 extra videos that are unlisted. Great videos. And I think you'd really enjoy them. And they're free. The 3, not the 9. All right, that's going to be it. I'm glad you watched this video, and I hope you found it interesting. Good day, everybody.